Looking forward to this game. Liam Sheedy and Ger Loughnane here with me. We look back to last year, what happened. Everybody is saying this year, this is a big chance for the Dubs to come through, but that Leinster final of last year was just a reminder when Kilkenny seemed to be in any kind of bother. What a response.
Yeah, Kilkenny are, they've been awesome. They're going for number 8 tonight in Leinster. But I'd say Anthony Daly and his men, as soon as the draw was made, I would say the focus shifted from, getting through the league, and it was all about this evening, I would feel. They were quite competitive in the league, understanding they were missing a lot of their key players. So unlucky to get relegated, I would feel. Lost a lot of matches by a point or two, but all of the time you just felt for Dublin, it was all about this evening. I think everyone in that group got National League medals last year. What they wouldn't give to have a Leinster medal at the end of this year. So I'm really looking forward to an exciting game tonight.
One thing that Anthony Daly, the Dublin manager, has been saying during the week, he's been quoted in the press, I'm sure he's been saying it to his players, is play without fear. Don't let the occasion get to you. Play the match, not the occasion.
Well, that's exactly it. And Anthony knows that from his time with Clare, because Clare had the very same hang-ups as Dublin have had over the last 2 or 3 years. And just going back to the league final, when they played with abandon, when they played with that zip and that intensity that they can play with, they're almost unbeatable when they play like that. Now contrast that then with the Leinster final, where they were riddled with self-doubt. Let Kilkenny get the run at them at the start, and if they do that again tonight, they'll be in the same trouble as they were in the Leinster final. But the start here is going to be absolutely vital. We saw even in the minor match before this, Dublin got the win in the first half, got a 4-point lead, and Kilkenny found it very hard to come back into the game. So I think a good start from Dublin, absolutely vital in this game tonight.
And I suppose there's no harm, Liam, to see your minors go out and beat Kilkenny. Dublin winning that game, that minor semi-final, 112 to 10 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're in the senior dressing room and you see your minors coming in and they're victorious, it gives everyone a lift. You say, right, the minors have done the business, now let's us go out and do the business. And I think Gerard's absolutely right when he points to the start here. I think Kilkenny, right throughout last year, they won every game in their first 15-20 minutes because they just created a 5-6 point cushion. Even in the Leinster final last year, it was 2-6 to 4 points after 22 minutes, 8 points down, and you really are facing an uphill battle. Tonight, I think Anthony
Dublin and Kilkenny the champions, and the match gets underway. Barry Kelly just throwing the ball in and letting them off, and it is Dublin who won the toss, and they've opted to play from left to right in the first half, which means they've got a breeze behind them for the opening 35 minutes. And even when retirements and injuries and form losses taken into account, I suppose very few experts have been prepared to actually go against this Kilkenny team when it comes to championship time. Paul Ryan, who's got 2 goals and 52 points in his championship career so far from 65 metres out. It's way to the right. Didn't catch it at all properly, and he's a Trinity College student, 35 metres out, and immediately after him there was Tommy Walsh. And Tommy picks himself off the ground. This is the challenge again, which the referee blew for, and it's got to be a free in.
Yeah, if you watch it there, I think Tommy would have been better just trying to hook him. He went over the top, over the shoulder, instead of coming underneath, and the foul was given. And you'll remember in the league, Danny Sutcliffe had a great day on Tommy Walsh, and Tommy was substituted, so good start by him, Sutcliffe.
Well, that was a very, very high-scoring league match. So Paul Ryan once again called into action here. This is a much easier free now. So can he put Dublin in front here? Does so.
Moved out to that ball very well.
Once again, this time it's another Paul Murphy, All-Star, winner of his first All-Ireland medal in his first real season last year, the quarterback for Kilkenny. Pressure there on the Dublin half-back line. Owen Larkin trying to take it up into his hands, succeeds, ready to take off, well dispossessed by Joey Boland. Comes back there towards Conal Keaney. Down into the forwards again it goes. Paul Ryan's little shot, and he pulls it in beautifully inside the right-hand post and puts it over the bar, and he's got a second, and Dublin lead by 2 points to no score.
Yeah, great tackling there, Gerard, by the Dublin backs, and Paul Ryan is a very, very skillful hurler. Jackie Turtle knocked it down, the conditions again playing a part, but still a very good finish by Paul Ryan.
Henry Shefflin, eventually Owen Larkin coming across, almost running out of space. Despairing dive to get that one, comes back to TJ Reid, hitting it from outside the 45-metre line. It's way up into the sky, and it lands beautifully over the crossbar. And it's Kilkenny's first point, and TJ Reid is the scorer. 7 minutes into the match. Just got a little bit of space there, nobody closing him down, and up high and landing down beautifully. 2 points to 1. Dublin battling in the middle of the park there. Ryan O'Dwyer, number 24, on his back, being helped out over there. It's Danny Sutcliffe who gets it, tries to get Dublin. Sutcliffe takes off. Doyle's after him, trying to hook him, and he's landed an absolute beauty. What about that for a score for Dublin? Well, the Dublin fans applauding. And this is a very impressive start being made here by Danny Sutcliffe, raiding down the left-hand side from a very tight angle. He's made it 3 points to 1.
Yeah, that's a great score, Joe. He took on the entire Kilkenny defence almost there, and he was brilliant all during the league. Apart, maybe towards the end of the league, got a little bit of maybe a match or two. He wasn't up to his best, but before that, he was brilliant for Dublin during the league.
What breeze there is blowing behind Dublin, remember, for the opening 35 minutes, as Joey Boland plays it down into a 2-man inside forward line. Liam Rush there, and so too is Conor McCormack. Comes back out towards the centre half back, Brian Hogan. Dublin have a player down injured at the moment. It appears to be Dublin's number 12, Conal Keaney.
He's back on his feet.
And the free has been taken, and it was put over the bar. Henry Shefflin, already a point scorer from a free. We're trying to get it back to him. Dublin's tigerish play so far is a real feature of this match, but that's Richie Doyle from Barrow Rangers. Big one in. Comes straight back out here towards Richie Hogan. Steadies himself, makes an angle for himself, and floats it beautifully over. Richie Hogan's first. And the match is tied up at 3 points apiece, and that's a very good recovery by the Cats, responding smartly to Dublin's early flow of scores. Back down the field, Paul Murphy put under pressure there. Hogan tries to come in, Ryan O'Dwyer. Johnny McCaffrey in, trying to get his stick to it. Owen Larkins there as well for Kilkenny in the colours of James Stephens, and eventually emerging with it is TJ Reid from Ballyhale Shamrocks. Reid in a mesmerising run here. Off he goes to Richie Power. Power, Reid, goal! So typical of Kilkenny. 17 minutes gone, and TJ Reid gets his first ever championship goal. He set it up himself. Richie Power was involved, and the finish was devastating.
Jared, that's an absolutely brilliant goal. Brilliant angle by Richie Power to take the pass originally, and then unselfish across the Reid, and a great finish. But what a goal. Richie Power hasn't been on the ball, and talk about burst of speed. Just that lovely dummy there, and a great hand pass, switched hands there, and TJ Reid was never going to miss from there. Great goal by Kilkenny.
Well, that will do his confidence an immense. Nothing terribly dramatic at any stage, the way some teams start with maybe 5 or 6 championship newcomers. Here's Paul Ryan. Dublin need a response quickly, and Paul Ryan is able to provide it with his third point, his second pointed free.
Really.
Henry Shefflin, 1 from 2 so far from just the edge of the D, and he could hardly miss from there, and didn't.
In the corner, brilliant here, and carried that right through the league. He's been outstanding for them.
He has. Right now it's Dublin who are trying to get possession there in their own full back line, but it's Richie Hogan out as far as TJ Reid, the goal scorer, and he puts it inside the right-hand post. The umpires are quite definite that it was a point there by TJ Reid. He's got a goal and 2. A couple of Dublin defenders questioned this. Just watch it again here now. Yes, so too did Peter Kelly and the goalkeeper. But it's Kilkenny who have the lead by 1-5 to 4 points. Very important now that Dublin get the next score. Joey Boland having his hands full against TJ Reid. Down towards Ryan O'Dwyer. I haven't seen very much of him so far. I've seen Richie Doyle, however. Here he is again. Jackie Tyrrell taking it, driving it 50 metres into the wind. Taken down by Richie Hogan cleverly. 2 players after him. Niall Corker was one of them so far out of 3 attempts. And this one is high, and it's accurate. And it's another one for Henry and Kilkenny. So far, so good. They knew that they would get a fair old battle from his team. He was wondering whether his side could measure Kilkenny today. This was the big test. Kilkenny are the yardstick. Comes back here to Stephen Heine. And Heine drives it.
The air, Brian Hogan, very strong. You know, they need to stick to their game plan, keep spreading the ball and putting the Dublin, making the Dublin defender, or the Kilkenny defenders run and spread them out.
Richie Parr from a lovely pass by Paddy Hogan from the middle of the park, and thumbs up for Hogan. from Richie Power, his first point. Remember, he made the goal as well. He was involved in that after 17 minutes with TJ Reid. Went off himself this time, took it wide of Tomas Brady. Angle wasn't the easiest, but what a good score. 1-7, as you can see, by 1-7, 10 points to 4. And their forwards are causing problems for the Dublin backs. This time Heine. Oof. Tomas Brady needing a bit of help here because it's back with Owen Larkin. Back in towards Colin Fennelly, had an injury early on, this time gets first run on this. Lovely play inside, Richie Power, could be a second, it is a second, and Kilkenny lead the match by 2-7 to 4 points. He made one, he scored one, and there are just 27 minutes gone.
Yeah, Ger, great teamwork again. Colin Fennelly, as I said earlier, great pace, but look at that, had the vision, looked up, and where is the marking? Great finish by Richie Power. He was the player of the league before he got injured, missed the league final. Colin Fennelly, lovely ball inside, and simple finish for a player like Richie Power.
They're just full of invention, they're full of life, and they're creating so many opportunities. This time Kelly stands firm and Peter Kelly drives it back down the field, but they're getting nothing. The ball isn't sticking there. They're not able to beat the Kilkenny backs, who are tough and resolute. And that time JJ Delaney turned around 360 degrees before firing it out towards TJ Reid. Johnny McCaffrey there as well for Dublin. This time it's Kelly and Buckley. Captained the Miners against Clare in the All-Ireland final a couple of years ago. Almost kept in play, by the way, so that is the first of the match. And that free has...
Watch Kilkenny's little simple hand pass all the time to get themselves out of trouble.
And Shefflin from a very central position. It's mere target practice. Final minute of the opening 35. It's high, it's dropping, it's over the bar. There you go. 500 championship points scored by one of the greatest ever, Henry Shefflin. He's made it 2-9 to 5 points.
Yeah, what a way to do it. Obviously the wind is swirling out there, but caught that brilliantly from well over halfway and over the bar. Great score and great milestone to reach. 5
scores from 6 frees taken so far. He's in the groove. 6 from 7. It's an amazing stat, isn't it?
But hasn't missed a championship match since 1999. He's 57 game in a row, which is incredible as well.
And that's David Tracy to try and get one back, and he's done so. Number 15 didn't start the match, came on as a sub, and he has got Dublin's 6th point.
And with me here in O'Moore Park, it's slipping away from them, Liam.
Yeah, very much so. We were just saying when they went for the toss that Dublin had the breeze, we were saying great, you know, Dublin get a chance to get off to an even start, and they had a reasonably good start. They went 2 points clear, but my God, when Kilkenny got going, you know, into a really stiff breeze here, they've been awesome here again this first half. Their backs are well on top. They're winning all the ball back there, and when the ball comes up in front, their movement up front, they've got Dublin in serious trouble. They've made 3 substitutions, Conor Keane going off, but the other 2 were forced substitutions because you know, Niall Corcoran wasn't playing that well, and David Tracy's into the game as well. So it's really hard to know where Dublin are going to go from here. They're 10 points down after playing with a really strong breeze, so they've a lot of work ahead of them in the second half.
Before the match, I asked you two lads if the conditions, and they are quite bad, as people can see, it's raining quite heavily, if that would make a difference. You said, look, it'll suit a skillful team.
That's exactly it. And the more skillful team is Kilkenny. And not alone are they more skillful, they're more aware of where each other is. Their team plays much better. They're much more aggressive on the ball. I just cannot believe, you know, the Dublin targeted this game all year, and next thing they come out and they absolutely flop. They're stuck to the ground. They're slow into the challenge. They're letting forwards pass them by almost,
sure,
almost without a tackle.
I suppose, Ger, Kilkenny are not multiple champions for nothing.
No, but even Kilkenny aren't playing at the pace that we have often seen them play before. They're playing with great cuteness. You know, the diagonal ball across the field is just catching out Dublin time after time, and the interchanging of the forwards, Dublin backs are totally incapable of coping with it.
First couple of minutes, Liam, I suppose Dublin got a couple of points and, you know, got...
Ross O'Carroll is the new player in that you've heard about, got into full forward. Meanwhile, Owen Larkin turns, strikes it down towards Richie Hogan, somehow manages to hold on to it like a conjurer. Keeps it away there from Rory Traynor when the first half sub. That's some point. That is really quite excellent. He's got a 2nd point, and each and every one of them has been well worth coming to see. How did he catch it? How did he hold it? And then how did he get away and strike it over the bar?
Yeah, he's great control, low centre of gravity. in the league final. He came back after 2 broken ribs and a punctured lung a few weeks earlier and had a great game, and you know, he has brilliant skill and great ball control.
Yeah, at one stage they were saying he might be out for 7 weeks, I think, at that stage, Michael, and I think he was 6 points in the first half. And he just keeps on repeating. Went off in the league final with a dead leg. As that ball is hammered in, it's one back, and one back brilliantly. Out by Tomas Brady to Rush. Slipped into the middle here as far as Alan McCrabb. Out it goes as far as Ryan O'Dwyer, and Ryan O'Dwyer marks the occasion with his first point. Well, he'll remember it for the goals he got in the All-Ireland quarter-final last year against Limerick. Real tour de force that day. Dublin's first score in August, and maybe an All-Ireland final as per usual in September. The Kilkenny way. And suddenly Richie Power got himself in acres of space. And he's...
I think they're probably underrated in that respect, you know, and also their physical conditioning. They're very, very fit, and you know, they never seem to tire at all in games. They finish as strongly as they start.
Richie Hogan looking for another one, and Richie Hogan has sorry, not Richie, but rather Paddy Hogan puts over his first point, and that's his first point in the championship for Brian Cody's team, in front of an attendance here of 12,446. 214 to 7 points. Paddy Hogan again challenging. Henry Shefflin goes back, shows no ill effects of any shoulder or leg injuries that have affected him in the past. Great ball down from Richie Doyle to another Richie Hogan. Off the post it comes, back out. Colin Fennelly unable to get to the end of that one. But there are too many Kilkenny players there, and that's taken beautifully away there. Richie Doyle helping out, comes out towards Brian Hogan, who had a storming opening to this match. 2 Dublin defenders in difficulty. Power comes in. They've already got 2 goals. He looks for more. He's got a point instead. Richie Power.
Kilkenny too, training down there, you know, the quality of their training matches. Look at these subs that they have, and that's a big factor.
That's Henry. That short puck out, straight to Peter Kelly. And the Lucan Sarsfield's player gives it away. Larkin advances with some purpose. He's got space, he's got latitude, and he's got a lovely shot off. Only his first point in the match, Owen Larkin, but he's been involved on the ground. He got up very quickly and smothered it. That's another look at it there. Brilliant second save. Partial block on this, comes out towards McCrabb. Elegantly looking around here to see just who's moving. It's McCaffrey trying to thread it outside to Dotsy O'Callaghan. Couldn't get there. Instead it's Aidan Fogarty, Taggy they call him. Good combined play. TJ Reid into the forwards. Ruth going towards it, but Matt Ruth couldn't get there. Trainer out to Henry Shefflin. Maybe one from play? Not quite.
To come back again, as you said, coming back fresh now into the championship again, which is a huge plus for Kilkenny.
Alan McCrabb striking that one and putting it over Reid. Down to Larkin, who's moved to the inside line. Slipping back out towards Matt Ruth. Played in last year's Leinster final. Paddy Hogan. That's oof. The post does him a favour because it was heading outside, clipped off the upright, and obligingly went over. 2 points for Paddy Hogan.
Yeah, he's played really well, Jerry. He's
worked hard.
Yeah, he's a very good striker. Takes a lot of the long range frees, and big cheer for Tommy Walsh going off.
So Tommy goes off. Another one of the subs comes on. Big one across here. Dotsy O'Callaghan advancing with some menace, but 35 metres out, and then he is stymied. Runs into a
couple of goals, and this man had a huge bearing on it.
It's Power, it's Henry. Oh, what a save by Gary Maguire! The second brilliant save he's made. Wonderful. Well, it's kept the crowd on their toes, and still
made 3 great saves in the game, and still, you know, to be so well beaten, it's very demoralising for him and for Dublin. And there's Owen Larkin just tipping over another one.
So Owen Larkin's got a second, and Kilkenny's total now increases to 221 to 8 points. Remember, they were 210 to 6 points up at half time. So 221's a good score, adding another 11 points. Dublin with just 2 added scores in the second half. That's a very, very poor return. And of Dublin's 8 points, 4 have come from play. Yellow cards against Johnny McCaffrey and Ross O'Carroll. Dublin are now to play with 14 for the remaining few seconds of this game. They've used up their subs. They'd used them up earlier on, and Ross O'Carroll comes in here. And the final effort is a high one. It's Dotsie O'Callaghan. And Dotsie O'Callaghan, for the record, gets his one and only score of this match.
He caught a little bit like the All Blacks against Ireland during the night.
Exactly,
no, the
yeah,
answer.
just watching this morning, the All Blacks, it was so similar to what happened there, but you would have to say Dublin was so disappointing, you know. And Anthony Daly must be wondering just what he can do with this group now, having been 4 years with them. He has given his life for the last 4 years with that team, and to come out and to totally flop on the day was just very, very disappointing for him. Now, Kilkenny, you know, they won the game without ever raising it to a very high intensity, without ever going beyond second or third gear. But the way, you know, the efficiency with that play is just absolutely fantastic. They pick out the man so quickly. They play the intelligent ball. They play the fast ball, you know, and then they take the score when the chance presents itself. Dublin were trying to walk the ball short, passing to a man 3 yards away, the ball being taken off of them. Everything that Anthony Daly would have said to them not to do, they seem to do today. So a very disappointing game. Actually, I was at a donkey derby in Spencer Hill last night, and entertainment was 40 times better than what I saw here today.
Was it any drier, Ger?
It was dry, and it was fun, and you know, you come away from it kind of saying, God, wasn't that mighty? You come out here tonight and you say, oh God, where do you go from here? Yeah,
Sponsored out for us.
Yeah.
Next year, I think Liam Sheedy. Liam, Ger managed a team to 2 All-Ireland finals. You managed to Tipperary 2 All-Ireland finals. You know, after a while, there's only so much you can ask for players, and are they willing to go again? But this Kilkenny bunch are incredible because they just seem to want to do it all over again. As Michael Dignan was saying, the commentary, they are fighting for their places on the team.
Yeah, incredible is the right word to use. You know, the best team probably ever played a game. But the reality is we would have expected Dublin to come with a lot more tonight. I just couldn't get over Dublin the way they came second to the ball. The one thing you don't do with good opposition is say, look, I'll give you the ball first and now I'll try and take it off you. They were behind to every ball. They just seemed to be completely flat. And when Kilkenny got the first goal, as I said, I sensed here that the heads were already going down. And, you know, really the second half, 3 points, 2 of those coming from play. I mean, it was just one-way traffic. Kilkenny, you know, if it was a challenge match between Tip and Clare and myself and German managers, we said we'll blow it up at 20 minutes to go. We'll go out of here really. Yeah. And I'm really, you know, you'd really feel sorry for Dublin. I'm sure their preparation, they didn't prepare to come down and play like that. But just on the evening, completely outclassed. And you're thinking back in Kilkenny next week to going back training, you've got players like Michael Fennelly and Michael Rice coming back in saying, lads, anyone want to shove out of the way here? I'd like a place in the team. And you can just imagine the training matches that are going to happen down there on the build up to the Leinster final. So
Tomorrow.
Richie, congratulations. An easy first outing for you.
I wouldn't say easy now, you know. I suppose we targeted this game like after the league final, and we knew it was going to be a massive challenge. Dublin are an up-and-coming team. We knew what they were going to bring physicality-wise, you know, and fitness. So, you know, we got ourselves in the best shape possible that we possibly could, you know, and thankfully things went right for us on the day.
And a goal from you kind of got you up and running?
Yeah, definitely. You know, you kind of need a score to get you settled in games, you know. And Colin gave me a great ball through. Like I had nothing to do really, only put it in the net, you know. So thankfully it went in, but you know, it just showed that everyone worked for each other out there. I think the team spirit was just immense today, you know. And you know, we have to push on from here. We've Galway waiting for us in 2 weeks' time, so that's going to be a bigger challenge again.
How do Kilkenny keep doing it?
You know, look, I suppose we've guys on the line. We've 15 guys on the line pushing us all the way. You know, we said it at half time that Henry, I think, said it, for a guy like of his stature to say that there's guys pushing us every week and training every night. So, you know, we have to push ourselves as hard as we can, keep going. And, you know, Brian says he always picks the team on training, and that's what we do.
And sweet for you after coming back from injury?
Yeah, you know, I suppose I was lucky enough in a way. You know, I thought my year could have been ended, but thankfully it hasn't. And, you know, thanks to the great medical team that I have, I was able to get back in the best shape possibly. So, you know, we'll push on from here and we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations. You are our man of the match, and Breda Cahill from Centra is here to hand over the award.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Well done to Richie Power, another fine.
What Brian Cody and his team are going to think of that, and clearly we saw what they thought of it today.
Yeah, and,
Well, let's hear what Brian Cody does think of it. He's talking to Claire.
Brian, another championship campaign up and running, very comfortable for you this evening?
Yeah, we played well today, Claire. It was a good performance. The first half we played against a very strong breeze, and you know, went in at half time with a bit of a lead, and 2 goals obviously in the first half were crucial scores, and they were good goals as well. But the attitude of the players is very, very good, and you know, we're happy today, certainly.
Another demonstration, I suppose, of just the strength of this squad that you have.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talk about the panel the whole time, you know, we don't consider ourselves a 15-man team, you know, we have players always putting pressure on the next player to get into the team, and that's very, very important. And then when you hit injuries, you know, they're ready to come in and step in there. So, you know, the panel, we're very, very happy with the quality of it, definitely.
And you come off an All-Ireland winning campaign, a league winning campaign, and there just seems to be no end to, I suppose, the hunger and ambition of your side.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Leinster Championship, it's championship time, you know, and that's what players kind of live for, and everybody involved lives for that, you know, and there's an excitement about it and a real enjoyment about it, and there's a challenge there that we like to take on.
It's your 14th successive championship campaign. Do you approach them all the same, differently? What do you do?
I'm not sure, to be honest, Claire, you know, I just kind of take it from day to day, and, you know, there's a buzz about every championship day and every championship season, and, you know, it's about the challenge that's out there in front of you, and the challenge today was a very, very serious one. Dublin have had terrific form coming to the league, even though they were relegated in the leagues. It turned out their performance in the league and their performance against us in Nolan Park was certainly outstanding, you know, and it's a game they would feel, and we would feel probably they should have won. So we knew what to expect today, and as it turned out, they didn't have a good day, but I'm certain that there's going to nobody be queuing up to take on Dublin in the championship, because my opinion of Dublin is the same now as it was before the game.
And it's Galway up next for you. You'll be anxious to go to the direct route to the All-Ireland series.
Yeah, certainly. I think everybody would prefer to go that route, you know, but it's a big challenge. Leinster final, you know, it's ourselves in Galway, and there's going to be absolutely nothing in that game. Galway, very good win the last day. So, you know, the challenge is there ahead for us, but that's what we're looking forward to now.
And just a quick word on Henry Shefflin, another milestone today, 500 championship points now he's passed.
Has he done that? Okay, well, I mean, I'm not too concerned about what he's done, to be honest with you. With regard to points, it's a great achievement for his personal achievement, but, you know, the challenge is what's further down the line for him, you know, and what it is certainly is great to see him back with a game under his belt. I mean, he's had a tough time with injuries, but he's a dogged man with terrific spirit and interest in what he's trying to do, so great to see him back.
Well done today.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah, the challenge is there for Kilkenny, and do they?
About it is that in 2 weeks' time, both of these teams play again. Kilkenny play in the Leinster final. Now, today is a good warm-up game for them. It's not going to take too much out of them. The intensity wasn't that high. They're not going to be that worn out after today's game. Now, contrast that to Dublin. They've only 2 weeks to prepare now. They'll be playing either the losers of Tip and Cork tomorrow or else Clare. So a very, very dangerous game for them. So their season could boil down to just 2 weeks. So what happens in the 2 weeks for the next 2 weeks for Dublin is absolutely vital. For Kilkenny, today is just perfect preparation.
By the way, gentlemen, we should say something, Liam Sheedy, about some of our GAA stars and what they put into the game. We all know they're amateurs, and we won't sort of go on about that. But Henry Shefflin, the star of the game, it's a wet evening here in Kilkenny. He's still out signing autographs to the fans, or in Portlaoise, I should say.
Yeah, he's an amazing man. He passed the 500 mark. You know, he probably has no right to do what he's doing in championship. I mean, he's had a really tough last 2 years with injuries. You know, getting the knee job done, and obviously having to limp out of an All-Ireland final. And even last year, he only came back for the championship, and again this year. But just goes to show you the mental resolve that this guy has, and you know.
Should be talking to Claire.
Anthony, obviously bitter disappointment. Your challenge never really got going today.
No, Claire, that's an understatement, I suppose. I don't know. It's just incredible, like how poor we could be. It wouldn't take away from Kilkenny. Obviously, showed, you know, they played up to their normal standards. But if we gathered up 20 at the Red Cow this morning and came down, we'd hardly been worse. Like we couldn't rise the ball. I don't know. You know, we looked towards the night as if we were sharp as lightning. And obviously, it's something between our ears. Maybe it's just, you know, psychological block there or whatever it is. But no, we never got out of the blocks at all.
Is it just one of those days? Obviously you had expected, there was great hope I suppose within the county and outside that you would put up a serious challenge tonight.
Yeah, well, I suppose there was a good bit of media talk, but maybe that's more a situation of the media dying for somebody else to come along. But Kilkenny just be Kilkenny, don't they? No, within ourselves we were realistic, and we spoke about just performing, but we didn't really go down the results route at all. We spoke about getting the best out of ourselves, but we couldn't have got any worse out of ourselves than that, So I don't know. I don't really know, Claire, exactly what the answers are at the minute, but watching videos might help. But I mean, it's fresh enough in my memory to know. I mean, we couldn't do the basic stuff, and I mean they're able to do that. Like so, whether it's the size of the Kilkenny jerseys or something getting to people, or I don't know. But we have to try and pick our heads up anyway, because we've only 2 weeks to try and, or else we're out of the championship. So that's what we have to try and do now, is get back and hopefully regroup somewhere or another.
How hard will that be?
It'll be very difficult, but I think it must come from the players as well. Like I mean we'll back 100%, and sure, look, we'll but leaders have to step forward now and hopefully try and renew the challenge. But I know it's just hard to know, because we just, as you said, we never got out of the blocks at all. And but Kilkenny again, they showed again exactly how you do it. You step up to the plate on the big day, and you be an adult and a man about it, and they have loads of those.
How far ahead of the pack do you think they are?
A good bit ahead of us this evening anyway, Claire, the pack. I don't know, sure, they'll take it one day at a time. I thought Galway looked good enough last week, to be fair, but I suppose Galway would have preferred if we won today maybe, but no, I look, they're the best team, like, there's no doubt about that. But how far, I don't know, that's for other people will tell us about that, but they proved it again today. Come whatever conditions, Croke Park, Thurles, wherever it is, they'll come out and do the business most days.
Okay, Anthony, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Claire.
That is the Dublin manager, Anthony Daly.